Hello everybody. So I am here to share with you my personal Shakeology story because if somebody would have told me just under a year and a half ago that I would now be a pretty much unapologetic walking billboard for this stuff, I would have laughed and absolutely not believed them because that's very out of character for me to be sold out on anything really through and through other than Jesus. And I'm a skeptic. And so I would have just thought, oh goodness, you're obviously thinking of the wrong Amy Miller. But for those of you that know me and have been around much at all, you know that I believe in Shakeology through and through because it has been a game-changing, heaven-sent solution for years, decades of struggles with food and health and nutrition for me personally. So I think there's not a lot stronger than personal testimony, so I'm coming to you today to share that with you. If you know any part of my story, you know that I was actually introduced to Shakeology in a time of my life that was a severe time of desperation with food and just health and fitness and body image and what have you. And I literally just cried out and just laid the struggles that I had been trying to manage on my own for a quarter of a century at the foot of the cross and just turned them over to the Lord. And within 48 hours, a friend of a friend just introduced me to Shakeology. And although, again, like I said at the beginning, I'm a skeptic and totally out of my nature, I couldn't argue with the timing. And so I decided, well, it's good stuff. I looked at the ingredients and it seemed cool. So I thought, okay, I'm just gonna try it. And I am so glad that I did because it has truly been a game changer for me. I can tell you early on, I started seeing the benefits very quickly. I actually did not change my exercise habits or my eating habits when I first started drinking Shakeology. I made the investment and I said, I want to see if this works on its own. So at the time I was running 3 times a week and I had very up and down, for the most part, pretty poor eating habits. I didn't change a thing, and within a week I had dropped 3 pounds. I, in hindsight, realized a lot of that was probably bloat, and a lot of it was cleaning up some digestion, because that brings me to another point that I'll get to in just a moment. But either way, simply by drinking a shake once a week for a week, or excuse me, once a day for a week, I lost 3 pounds. So that was pretty cool, right? I was at least 20 pounds overweight at the time, so I was happy to have that just by drinking a chocolate shake every day. Over time, I continued to lose weight without changing any other habits. I actually stuck with those same habits for another 2 weeks, and over the course of the next 2 weeks, I lost another 6 pounds, another 3 pounds, for a total of 6 pounds just by adopting the shake, not changing anything else that I had done. Because again, I wanted to, I think, prove to myself that the investment was worth it. But anyhow, my second point that I alluded to was that 8 days in, after drinking a shake once a day, on the 8th day, I realized, and I'll speak to why this was weird, or kind of cool weird, I realized that I had become regular. And without getting too graphic, I can tell you that that was huge. That for over a decade and a half, that the bowel movements, I guess that's the most PC way to say it, were not anything consistent for me. And in fact, it became a joke in the house of like, how many days has it been? And then when the time would finally come, my husband would light tons of candles and Scentsies and say, oh, everybody evacuate because it's going to be a big deal. So I'm hoping that is going to simmer down for a moment. But anyhow, so I was very excited to have found something or to be experiencing regularity, because the truth of the matter is that we are supposed to have regular digestion and experience the number twos daily, if not more than daily. And that, for the first time after drinking this for 8 days straight, that had become a reality. And I can say, I'll fast forward ahead real quickly, I can say I've had a shake every day since, and have been regular every day since. So anyhow, something very powerful in this stuff, if it could work for me after struggling with that for 15 years. All right, so I knew it was good stuff because of those two things right there, but I started to really pay attention. The weight loss was awesome, but because of the digestive benefits, I really started paying attention. Please don't do that right now, sweetie, okay? So although I had, like I said earlier, kind of looked at the ingredients, the friend of a friend that had introduced me to it sent me a list of things. I was like, okay, cool, that looks good. Doesn't look like anything awful. Okay, go ahead. I really started paying attention, and I actually looked at the back of the bag and started reading from top to bottom all the ingredients, and this stuff is incredible. I mean, there are ingredients here that I probably can't pronounce correctly, but they are all legitimate words that weren't man-made or created because they were engineered nutrition. So lithium berry, I don't know if I'm saying that right, moringa. And then I dropped down and started looking at all the other ingredients and realizing that every stinking thing in here, even down to the salt, which is the last ingredient, so we know that that means it's the least used ingredient, Himalayan pink salt. I mean, everything in here is all natural and amazing superfoods. I mean, some of these things, bilberry, maca root, maitake, pomegranate, I mean, things that were that just seemed beautiful to me, and I started envisioning, like, this is how they ate, like maybe in like the Garden of Eden, and there's nothing crummy in here, there's nothing processed in here. And I realized then, I had this mind shift that this is not just a protein shake, not one of those things that I had done for many years. I've tried tons of different protein shakes and all of these different engineered nutrition things and man-made things with chemicals and what have you. This is not a protein shake. This is a clean, whole, superfood shake.
Cut this out?
Not right now, sweetie. I'll be with you in just a moment. Nicholas, I'll be with you in just a moment. So I realized that this is the real deal. This was good stuff that I was feeding my body, and I started just thinking of it as, man, could I get any closer to the Garden of Eden type eating than this? And without needing to, just with the ingredients you can see in the pictures, without needing to go to several different suppliers, health food stores, some of which I bet I couldn't even find in my town. I live in Albuquerque. And spending an exorbitant amount of money. There's no way I could make this stuff. I mean, this stuff is exotic. So I started even looking at how it was made and where it came from. And I realized that, one, it would be absolutely impossible for me to gather these ingredients and prepare them the way that they are prepared. They're actually sourced from indigenous farmers outside of the United States, so we're not dealing with pesticides and a lot of the things that get into our foods. And then it's prepared, and the ingredients are sun-dried at really, really, really low temperatures to keep the ingredients, to keep the integrity intact. And then it's tested and tested and tested again. So 3 times before it's packaged and shows up on my doorstep in this beautiful little package to make sure that the integrity of the ingredients and everything has stayed intact. So I know sometimes people will ask me about the cost. And they're like, oh my gosh, it's so much more expensive than my protein shake or, you know, everything else. And I get it. I understand. I felt the exact same way. But once I did this research and I realized, one, I realized it was not just a protein shake. And 2, I couldn't duplicate it on my own if I tried for anywhere near the cost. And then I looked and I did the math and I realized that with the way, as a discount coach, I ended up paying about $3.50 a serving. And if I go to Starbucks, I allow myself once a week now, I'm spending over $5 on my cup of coffee, on my venti soy latte. So we spend $3.50 without blinking. And if I'm gonna have something that's gonna help me lose weight, help me be regular, it's feeding me superfoods, I'm gonna find a way to fit it into my budget. And I did. I actually was sold out on it very early on, because about 3 weeks in, I noticed an incredible increase in my energy levels and in my mental clarity. I have struggled with depression and anxiety for most of my adult life. And although I'm very thankful to have learned a lot of tools and found the minimal amount of medication that I need to monitor that, I can tell you that my mental clarity and my ability to stay above the gloomy aspect just was so noticeably different. Again, all of these reasons why I started delving in and researching about this stuff. My energy level being up, and with dogs and cats and a husband and a very busy 5-year-old. I appreciate that. And then I noticed right about the 3.5 week mark, right at almost a month, that my cravings for sugar and processed foods and crap were much less apparent. And I was blown away, because I have been a food addict. For many years was addicted to sugar, and very much addicted to carbs, and comforting myself moreover with crappy foods. And I thought, holy cow, this stuff truly is not only filling in the gaps of my nutrition, giving me all the vitamins and minerals that I need, lots of protein, lots of fiber, low carbs, very little sugar, no processed or artificial sugar, but it is also feeding me the good stuff. And so my body is no longer craving all of the stinking time crap. I'm human and I live in America. So I drive by Krispy Kreme, and I'm not gonna say that because I drink this every day that I don't think about donuts, and I don't, have tortillas or a sopapilla with honey sometimes, okay? But what I can tell you is, if I had to put a number on it, I would say, whereas I used to be at the full-on complete mercy of sugar and carbs and food, I would say that by adopting this superfood shake into my life on a daily basis, I am about 85% of the time able to conquer those cravings and conquer those. And I will take 85% over 0% any day. Because at the same time, it also tastes flippin' good. Oh my gosh. When my friend of a friend that introduced me to it sent me a recipe shortly after receiving it, receiving my bag, that I could eat or to drink a Reese's peanut butter cup tasting shake that was literally a salad every day. Another reason that I really just fell in love with it. So I actually look forward to it every day. I have a quick example. I have a wonderful, wonderful staff member that came in last week with a huge bag of M&Ms and put out a big bowl for us. And that's one of my kryptonites right there. And I am committed to a program right now where that is absolutely not part of the plan. I'm doing a program called 80-Day Obsession that has a time nutrition program, and M&Ms are not written into the program. And so I just immediately went and made my Shakeology. I have it now as an afternoon snack. In lieu of my old afternoon coffee pick-me-up, I now have my Shakeology. And I blended it up and chugged it, and my craving for sugar and crap was satiated, and I felt great. So I drank something that was the equivalent of a bowl of M&Ms, but as far as in my brain, but it actually nutritionally was a bowl of an amazing exotic superfood salad that didn't taste like that. So I've never been drawn to vegetables, so I love the fact that I know I'm getting at least one awesome stinking meal every day. So what I wanted to do real quickly before I sign off, now that I've shared with you my story, and I think you can sense my excitement and understand why I'm just completely unapologetic about sharing this stuff, is I thought that I would make you I'm going to make myself my favorite shake that I just alluded to. I've actually tried all of the flavors by now, almost a year and a half in, and I love all of them. But my favorite is still chocolate. And so if you have already seen me make my go-to favorite shake that I probably drink 4 to 5 times out of the week, you can go ahead and turn me off now. Thanks for listening this long. But I also have some tips while I'm making it that I will share, just tips and tricks on how I've learned to make it taste even better over time, okay? So the first thing I do, like I said, I do not eat vegetables by nature. I'm not drawn to them. I wish I was, but I'm not. I've gotten better, but I'm not. So I use this as a great way to sneak in an extra serving of vegetables on top of all of the awesomeness that's already in here. So I do a serving of greens. And this can be spinach, this can be kale, this can be chard. The only thing I have found that doesn't work is arugula because it's too peppery. I'll get it, baby. So really, I just go to the grocery store and whatever greens have the longest expiration date, I grab them. And then I throw in a green container of greens. It's a cup, all right? Then I do about a cup's worth of ice and a half a banana. And then I have... Roxy, you're killing me. I have all natural organic peanut butter. Please make sure that what you're eating is actually peanut butter and not some kind of peanut butter alternative. And I put a heaping teaspoonful into mine. And then,
Mommy,
obviously,
I my first.
hey, that looks fantastic, sweetie.
Get off of me.
Nicholas.
There's something on my foot.
All right, watch out, baby.
There
And
you
put
go.
a scoop of, oh, well, thank you. Is that for me?
Yeah.
Awesome.
No, that's for somebody else.
Oh, okay. All right. Well, thank you. I put a scoop of chocolate in there. We also have chocolate, vegan chocolate, which I also have tried. Oh, I think it's at the store right now at my office. It tastes exactly the same, but it's a great alternative for people that are vegan or just want to do more of a happy plant-based diet. And then what I do is I do a cup of water and about 3/4 cup of unsweetened vanilla almond milk. I just, you know, you find what the texture works for you. And then I blend it up. Be loud. All right.
And
then-
lid for this.
I'll find it for you, sweetie. And then I actually, one of my teammates gifted this to me for Christmas. It's my favorite cup in which to drink my shake. Who is that, Nicholas?
Wonder Woman.
That's right. And, oh, I'm so hungry. It's just really good. That's all I can say. So thank you for tuning in. I will tell you that the spinach, I meant to say this earlier. The spinach or the greens that you put in, you won't taste them at all. It doesn't change the flavor. It actually changes the texture and makes it just slightly creamier. So you're getting an extra serving of vegetables and it adds to the creaminess. So hey, there you go. The nice thing is that when you travel, Shakeology is actually designed to be a whole food all in and of itself. So I just take a shaker bottle and either packets or divvy these out into little snack size Ziplocs. And then I can just stand right there. Don't move. Don't move. Nicholas, don't move. You're going to step on glass. All right, I'm going to cut this short, but I can take it in a shaker bottle and shake it up and get my shake just that way. Okay, so you can do it with just water if you need to. I hope you all have a very blessed evening. Thank you for watching, or blessed day or morning whenever you're watching this, and I will talk to you later. Bye.